Hello everybody, it's Julia from the Highly Sensitive Tarot here, and I'm finally back to continue my Learn Tarot series. I think it might have been 5 or 6 weeks since I did the aces and the twos, and today I really hope to sit here and record the threes and the fours. So hopefully they will get done today and uploaded. So I'm really pleased to be here today to continue this series. I probably will put some timestamps in this video. I'm not sure yet. These things evolve as they go on sometimes. So I'm going to start with just telling you a little bit about number 3, really, in numerology. And with the 3, we get the results, I guess, of the decision that we made with the twos. Because if you remember, with the twos, we're always kind of weighing something up. We're always trying to make a decision. There's a lot of head over heart decisions. Which way are we going to go with the twos? So the threes are really the results of that decision. Threes are ruled by the Empress. They represent creativity, growth, expansion. It's a number of initial completion, I think, the number 3. It's the first step has been achieved, and now the next needs to begin. So yeah, it's the first step, really. So with the 3 of Wands here, which is in the Radiant Wise, I think this is the Radiant Wise Rider-Waite-Smith. It's a mouthful, isn't it? This is a male card. This is Wands, which is male, and the astrology with this card is the Sun in Aries. So this is a very male card. Obviously the Sun is male, and the Aries as an astrology sign is male. So yeah, anyway, in its higher realms, really, this card can represent waiting for your ships to come in, I suppose. We can see that here, can't we, with the man standing there, and off into the distance on the sea are the ships, and he's waiting there with his wands. It's a card of progress, really. I guess this is the first hint that your dream could be made real. And I think if you've achieved this level of success so far, you should be feeling proud, really, and quite satisfied, because there's been real achievement and enterprise here to reach this place of the 3 of Wands. In its lower realms, this card might represent treachery, impatience, poor timing, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, poor decision making, poor planning, even a lack of ideas, really. So yeah, I've got 3 cards to show you for each suit. We've also got the Tarot of the Abyss, which I recently did a depth study for the month with, and I really enjoyed. And we've got that similar energy going on here, haven't we? We can see this man waiting for his ships to come in. So this is the next step in his journey. And that theme is continued in the other tarot card I've got. And I mean, sometimes with tarot decks, we see lots of different themes for the same card, but the 3 of Wands often is this similar kind of theme of somebody waiting for a ship, somebody at the sea, somebody waiting for a ship or a boat or something to arrive. So that's what we've got here. This is the Pensive Path tarot, and although this man here has got no wands, it's still the same thing happening. He's waiting for this ship to arrive. So if we were thinking about questions, because I think when you're learning tarot, I think it's really important to try and develop a personal relationship with the cards. So if you were to ask questions to help you with self-reflection, you would be asking questions around what or whom are you drawing towards you with your vitality, your power and your energy, because that's obviously what the wands represent. So what are you drawing towards yourself? Question number 2 might be, what are you envisaging for the future? What are you looking out towards the sea and the horizon at? What are you envisaging? What can you see? What do you hope for your future? And question number 3 might be, where do your ambitions lie? Which again is, what are you looking out for? What do you want? What do you hope to succeed with? What do you want to feel proud and satisfied about? Where is the achievement? So there we go. That's the 3 of Wands. Okay. So the 3 of Cups. So this is a female energy. Cups represent a female, a feminine energy. And the astrology of this card is Mercury in Cancer. So as we can see in this Rider-Waite-Smith card here, the 3 of Cups really is a celebration of emotional fulfillment. It could be a celebration of marriage, but the creation here springs from the relationship in the 2 of Cups. There has been progress within the relationship within the 2 of Cups. So this could be a time of parties, weddings, birthdays, baby showers, anytime families get together, friends get together. This is really a time of healing. In its lower realms, this card could represent excessive pleasures, overabundance, failed relationships, one-sided relationships, being unappreciative of the relationships in your life, or breaking of promises to the people in your life. In the Tarot of the Abyss, we see a similar thing going on really here. We've got two women here, one very young, one much older, and somebody holding a cup out to them. And to me, this is like, you know, you're invited to the party. You know, it's similar to this, where we've got the 3 here, and this hand here is the 3rd person. So it's like, come and join the party, I think. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I really wish I could turn the camera around and show you, but in the hedge outside my window, there is currently about 20 sparrows all sat in the hedge. I've just put some food out for them. They're all sat in the sun, all fluffed up, looking gorgeous. You might even be able to hear them. They're quite noisy, bless them. But anyway, as I said, this is a similar, very similar energy, isn't it, to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck of like, come and join the party, you're invited. And we also have a very similar thing going on here in the Pensive Path Tarot. This is a beautiful card, actually. The Pensive Path Tarot can be quite dark. There's not a great deal of lightness and flow and pleasure and happiness within that deck. But the 3 of Cups really does show that. I love the movement. I love how you can see the wind moving these women's dresses, their clothes. You can almost feel their their happiness and their pleasure in their dance here, can't you? I just think that's lovely. So if we were going to ask questions again, relating to the energy of the 3 of Cups, we might ask, what cause for celebration is there in your life? What do you want to share with others? How do you relax with others? And do you feel part of a community? Do you feel part of a supportive loving group of people, I guess. So yeah, what cause is there for celebration in your life? What would you like to share with others, or what do you share with others? How do you relax with others? And do you feel part of a community or a group of people where you can enjoy yourself and let your hair down a little bit? Okay, so the Three of Swords. So this is a difficult card, isn't it? This is a card that many of us struggle with the energy of. Many people read this card just purely and simply as a card of heartbreak, but I think it's much more than that, really, because it's although we have a heart here, this is primarily a swords card. So this is a card of the mind. This is a masculine card, swords, and the astrology of this card is Saturn in Libra. So in its higher realms, this card might talk about something that has caused conflict for you, might have come to an end. This card would encourage you to face the emotional upheaval in your life with openness and honesty. And that this could be a very sad and painful time for you. There could be difficult or cutting or painful words spoken at this time. But this is a necessary, painful state of time that will help to resolve perhaps long-standing issues in your life, long-standing painful issues in your life. It can help you to open your eyes to reality and to bring understanding and insight into your life. In its lower realms or its lower levels, this card could just simply represent mental anxiety, confusion, an unending sorrow, feeling sorry for yourself, heartbreak, loss, and really the lack of insight, a lack of being able to see and understand the reality of your situation. In the Pensive Path Tarot, I find this card so difficult. I don't know how well you can see that. I hope you can see that properly. But in this picture here, we've got a small child, a little baby really, a toddler, who has hold of a bird. And you can see they've really got it grabbed in their little fist there, and they're pulling its leg. And there's a look of such concentration on this child's face, almost even a delight, really. And I guess the questions we have to ask around this card are, is the child aware that it's hurting the bird? Because that's what I was talking about a minute ago, wasn't it? It was about insight and understanding and seeing the reality of your situation. And perhaps in this card, the small child here doesn't understand that the bird is alive and can feel pain, and that the child is causing it suffering. But even worse than that is I suppose the idea or the possibility that the child does understand that it's causing suffering and pain to this bird, which I can't quite get my head around, to be honest. And I think that's why I don't like looking at this card, because I can't quite decide for myself whether this child is enjoying the suffering of this bird or not. I don't know, but I don't like this card. The Three of Swords is a difficult card, but that one for me is particularly difficult. I'm very, very mere-hearted about animals, and so I find that difficult. Now with the Tarot of the Abyss, we've actually got two cards here. The Tarot of the Abyss comes with two Three of Swords and two Ten of Swords. They're both, I guess, the most painful cards in the deck, and so it's nice that this deck is showing you a kind of alternate explanation. So we've got this one here, which I think is the traditional kind of Three of Swords, and then we've got this one, which is an alternate one. So I'm going to read from the book for this, just to make sure that I can do it justice, if I can find it, obviously. Swords, there we go. So the Three of Swords. So in the traditional version here, I shall just read what it says, okay? So, there is nothing harder than losing someone we love. Sometimes the pain can seem enough to break the human heart. The Three of Swords is not an easy card to receive, but it can forecast emotional pain and suffering. In this card, we can see a woman ready to set free the caged bird that was once her heart. It once beat within her chest, in perfect synchronicity with her. But with time, her heart took on a different role. It became something alien to her. A distinct being looking for a way out of the darkness that caged it. It was not an easy decision to make, since her livelihood could depend on this. Could she continue without it? Maybe she realised that keeping it locked within would not remove the pain or sadness, and so instead she set it free, and she hoped that with time the cracks would heal. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. Let it go free, and if it comes back to you, it's yours forever. If it doesn't, it was never yours to begin with. The Three of Swords is a grieving card, and that does not necessarily mean loss through death. In order to interpret such a meaning, you need reinforcing cards such as Death, the Tower, or the Five of Cups, and even then such an interpretation must be made with care. In most cases on its own, the arrival of this card in your spread indicates grief due to separation, divorce, or any other form of severance. Whether you like it or not, you may need to let go of a relationship. It can even be referring to the actual surgery or physical incision of the body. Blimey. In any case, something or someone must be removed from your life. However this card may affect you, remember that pain is transient. As the saying goes, this too shall pass, and you will be stronger for having survived it. I really like that very much. For me, that is the message of the Three of Swords, is that this too shall pass and you will be stronger for having survived it. So I like that very much. Let's just have a look at the alternate card here. So I'll just read from the book. So some people have a different way of interpreting the Three of Swords, based on the numerological properties of the number 3, the triad. Sorry, I just thought that things had gone much darker on my camera. I was trying, there they had, hadn't they? I was just trying to work out why. So some people have a different way of interpreting the Three of Swords, based on the numerological properties of the number 3, the triad. Because the suit of swords deals with the element of air, and therefore the mind, the suit as a whole can be interpreted as a progression from unknowing to knowing. And since the Ace of Swords, associated with the number 1, which is also known as the monad, is a card that brings the discovery of truth. The number 1 is the creative big bang of the mind. The Two of Swords, associated with the number 2, or the dyad, is all about duality and choices of the mind. So now we've reached the number 3, which is the triad in the Three of Swords, where what we've learned from the Ace of Swords, combined with the Two of Swords, brings us to the growth and expansion of the mind through multiplicity. Blimey. That is a different way of looking at the Three of Swords, isn't it? Through thinking and seeing things, it calls for harmony and equilibrium between the two forces that were once opposing. For this reason, the card portrays the image of a young man in the midst of gaining knowledge. The Three of Swords stands upright, piercing the Book of Thought, unlocking the living knowledge as it flies off the pages. They take flight and enter the receptive grail of the mind, a fertile ground where their seed can germinate and can develop fully if properly tended to. So there we go. That's really quite a nice way to look at the Three of Swords, isn't it? It's certainly an alternate perception, that's for sure. So there we go. So I paused the video there, ready to move on to the Pentacles, and then I realised I didn't ask any questions. Where is my brain today? So if we were going to ask some questions to help us to reflect upon this difficult energy of the Three of Swords, we might ask questions such as, can you look at your relationships with truth and honesty? Are you holding on to past hurts or resentment? And what do you fear most about your relationships? I think this card really does encourage us to experience our emotions fully, so as not to become blocked by them, to kind of allow emotions to wash over you, to take that pain into your heart and accept it and go beyond it and let it transform you. So in order to do that, I think it's important to look at your relationships with truth and honesty, to ask questions like, what are you holding on to? What past hurts and resentment do you hold on to? And what do you fear most about the relationships in your life? Okay, so the Three of Pentacles, the last suit. So Pentacles are a female, a feminine suit. The astrology of this card represents Mars in Capricorn. So this is quite a masculine representation of a Pentacles card, really, isn't it? So in its higher realms, this card might express being a craftsman card, I guess, completing the first stage of a project, creating something that could bring in patronage to yourself or more work for yourself or a better reputation. And the material gain, the finances, the money that comes from that. So the juggling of the Two of Pentacles should be coming to an end with this card. There's much growth here. In its lower realms, this card could represent sloppiness, mediocrity, low quality work, a lack of skill, a lack of commitment, an inability to collaborate with others. Because that's essentially what's going on here, really, isn't it? Is this collaboration of people and skills to bring about, you know, this beautiful archway, this gorgeous stonemasonry here that has been built. So, yeah. In the Pensive Path Tarot, we again see these three figures, but this time they're working on a dead body, aren't they, by the looks of it? These could well be people that are coming together to use their expertise to work out why this person died or what killed them. You know, we could have a doctor here, a surgeon, a policeman. There's a collaboration of skills and expertise coming together here to understand the nature of death, I guess. And in the Three of Pentacles in the Tarot of the Abyss, we again see in a very simplified form these three hands all pulling together, all working together. And I'm going to read from the book from this one a little bit, I think, just to see what it does say. So it says the artwork for this card is self-explanatory. The three hands work together to pull a rope in a seemingly game of tug of war. Each individual is strong on their own, but together they are much more likely to overcome the forces against them. The essence of the Three of Pentacles is teamwork and the idea that together everyone achieves more. If this card appears in the layout of your spread, expect it to be placed in a situation where you will have to work together with others to achieve your goals. Now is not the time to go it alone. While that may work sometimes, the situation before you calls for a team effort. So there we go. So if we were going to ask some questions to self-reflect with, to understand more the nature of this card and ourselves, we might ask, how do you work with others? How do you find it to work with others? Is it easy? Is it difficult? Do you know your place? Do you feel left out? Do you find it easy to be part of a team? What is your goal? What do you want to achieve personally and in your team? Are you willing to persevere? Are you willing to go that extra mile? How dedicated are you? And how well do you give and take positive criticism, I guess would be the word, wouldn't it? Positive criticism. How well do you give and take advice and criticism in order to learn and progress? Because that's often what's very difficult about working with others, isn't it? Is that we all have different ideas about how things should be done, and it can sometimes be difficult to appreciate somebody else's ideas. So this card really very much is about collaboration and being able to work as part of a team. So there we go. That's the threes. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that that was nice to listen to and you learned something. Please do leave me a comment. I would love any feedback from you about this card or about these cards, the number 3. And I look forward to seeing you again soon with the number 4s.